So the first principle we're going to be looking at is taking responsibility for ourselves. So the way I look at it is, and perhaps this is worth considering, is that we're not really entitled to a great life. It's not preordained that we're going to have great. We are invited to grow, to meet potentially what could be a great life. But there's really only one person who is responsible for the quality of your life. And while we may not choose what occurs, such as economic fluctuations, tidal waves, whatever it is, we can be 100% responsible for how we respond to these events. 100% responsibility includes for the quality of our relationship, level of achievement, the state of our health, physical fitness, finances, our feelings, all of it. And most of us are conditioned, I certainly was, to blame something or someone outside of us for the aspects of our lives that we don't like, or that we don't want, or aren't going our way. It could be that we blame our parents, our family, our boss, our co-workers, our partner, the economy, the government, because it's easier to do this than it is to reflect on our own part in whatever it is that we don't like. Similarly, we rarely give credit to these same things for what we do like and for what does work and for what we do want. So apparently it seems we are responsible for what we like and want, and others and other situations are responsible or to blame for what we don't like or don't want. So this is a really common fallacy or bias that people demonstrate. When we participate in life with the perception that we are 100% responsible for what we create and what we experience, that's when our life truly opens up. Or more truthfully, when we open up to life. To do this, which it's easy to say and not easy to do, we've got to give up all our excuses, our blame, our justification, our good reasons, our explanations, and our denial about where responsibility truly lies for what transpires within our experience to have the life we love. We alone are responsible for creating it. There are so many reasons we don't take this responsibility. For me, it was ignorance. I didn't know any better. And that's what we model and saw in our families. It's fear, needing to be right, needing to feel safe, past experience, wanting to fit in with family and friends who blame and excuse away what isn't working for them. Whatever the reasons, we avoid taking responsibility for long enough until it becomes the habit, and habits, as we know, become our destiny. If it really was simply chance that some people get everything they want and some don't, facing tremendous odds, is it really just luck? I think of people like Nelson Mandela all the time. I think of Oprah Winfrey, Denzel Washington, these amazing people. People who millions of people are inspired by. I'm inspired by them. Maybe you are too. They created lives that they love despite circumstance. If they blamed their circumstances, these amazing people could never have done everything they did. Their circumstances, however, have not defined them. They decided the trajectory of their life, and we admire them for that, and we love their stories and courage in overcoming huge adversity. For me, when I gave up excuses, I felt like I didn't have much to say. I was so habitually used to and accustomed to why I couldn't and what held me back and what was wrong, that I didn't know how to unmesh who I was with my own justifications. I committed to stop my excuses, and if that meant not having much to say, then so be it. And that's exactly what happened. I realized when I stopped voicing all my excuses and my very reasoned reasons, how many ways I had let myself off the hook for not doing the things I really wanted to do. To become a counselor and life coach, for example, to go on adventures, to become a writer for an international magazine. My excuses became my companions. So when I stopped giving them a voice, I felt pretty isolated because now I was alone with my lack of action. a stark contrast to the way I'd been filling my days with fearful reasoning. So as we adopt the perception that we are responsible, we begin to realize that what our results we have today are based on the choices that we made yesterday. And today is a reflection of our past, and tomorrow is a reflection of right now. Some people get a raise and they spend it all. They're determining their tomorrow. Their tomorrow will be much like today. Some people take the pay raise, invest it, and over the years they keep investing the pay raises, and it changes their financial destiny. Some people are asked by their partner to become a better listener, to show up more wholeheartedly. They disregard this and continue to dismiss, to invalidate, to minimize, and interrupt their partner. Their tomorrow is going to either be the same as today, or it's going to probably be much worse. Some people hear this request and rejoice that they are being guided on how to love this person more deeply and to learn to listen more fully and attentively. They're changing their relationship. They are changing their destiny. So many people want something different in their life, yet they keep doing the same thing over and over. If we keep doing the same thing, we keep getting the same results. It's as simple as that. Albert Einstein even said the very definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. Now, I suspect our results are going to be worse over 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years if we continue not to take care of our health, for example. We're not going to get the same results we've always got. Eventually, our body is going to reflect these poor decisions. Our healthy choices today don't show up today, but in 6 months' time, in a year's time, in 10 years' time. Continued healthy choices will be reflected in how we feel about ourselves, our energy levels, our blood pressure, our fitness levels, our willingness to participate in life more fully. Becoming 100% responsible means giving up blaming, giving up complaining, no matter what happened or who said what. This is actually really tough stuff. It also includes who didn't do something, or whatever the situation. When we stop giving our energy away to the blame, to the complaint, we are free to make more emotionally healthy choices for ourselves. Now, this isn't to say that I'm saying we're going to approve of or just tolerate or endure really poor behavior. That's not what I'm saying at all. This isn't just saying put up with it. With taking responsibility comes owning what is no longer healthy for us or aligning with our very best interests and knowing when the time to walk away is. That's radical responsibility. Setting up proper, healthy boundaries. Wherever you are, be there totally. If you find you're here and you're now intolerable and it makes you unhappy and miserable and you feel like you're just in an endurance race, you have only 3 options. 1, remove yourself from the situation. 2, change the situation. Or 3, accept it wholeheartedly. If you truly want to take responsibility for your life, you must choose one of these options. And we must choose it now and then accept the consequences. That's from Eckhart Tolle. And when we complain about things we don't want to do anything about, and it's easier to blame and complain about our partner or our parents or our boss or whoever it is, we get to remain passive as the behavior continues. And then we just get to sit back and say, it's not my fault, I didn't do anything. And that's easier to do than it seems to be able to say, I'm not okay with this. I am not going to participate in this. Please excuse me. This is tougher stuff, even though it's healthier, because we crave connection. And for many of us, we will settle for any quality of attachment rather than being separate. This played out for me. when it came to taking responsibility in a really stark way. When I walked away from a significant relationship, I was told that I was wrong, that I was overreacting, I was being too much, I was being too sensitive, making too much of a big thing about it, not working on it. Anything to preserve and protect the status quo. That was really unhealthy for me. What I wasn't hearing except from myself was I'm doing a brave thing. I'm doing what's best for me. I'm doing what's healthy emotionally for me. Staying where I am not appreciated for who I am is not healthy. And I am responsible for my own happiness. So good on me for walking away when I was never going to become joyful. I was never going to grow. I was never going to be able to expand. In fact, I probably did by walking away. When we look at the results we're producing, we see where we consider ourselves responsible and where we see we are not taking responsibility. Our results are speaking volumes. Choosing to own these results instead of the excuses about why the results are there to me is the ultimate act of self-love and courage.